I 27M still can't forgive my father 59M for cheating on mother 54F and starting a new family almost 20 years ago. I feel like I'm getting too old to be carrying around old family baggage like this, but how can I either forgive, develop a healthy relationship with him or move on with my life at this point? I'll try to be as brief as I can. Dad cheated on and divorced my mother with whom he had several kids. I was slightly younger than a preteen at the time. My mom was devastated, and to this day hasn't really been able to move on. It was a drastic blow to her mental health. He remarried, his career and income exploded, and had children with another not from the affair woman now 46F who is, to keep it brief, most certainly a narcissist by most criteria I can find. She was controlling, manipulative, petty, etc. and started to exert tremendous control over his financials, family life, and gradually over time, his relationship to us first kids. During my teens, in high school, I tried to live with my father but it became unbearable because of how she treated me and how often he was absent for work. In hindsight I was chasing a deeper connection with him that just didn't form. He struggles to talk about anything except himself. His new kids are experiencing financial and emotional support that we never could have dreamed of, while we have been virtually cut off and disinherited since they became seriously involved. I understand that children are entitled to nothing, but when I see just how lavishly his second family is living and the wealth they enjoy and the kind of lifestyle they are giving their children, I can't help but feel discarded. They are being set up for life, while we still struggle with school debt. I've tried talking with him about insecurities relating to his new family, but he has a bad temper and it rarely is productive. The straw that broke the camel's back, while seemingly minor, was a visit to their newly purchased second home for Labor Day again. My father is very wealthy now. It's the small things, but the house was clearly built to accommodate only the second family, and during the stay we first kids were expected to graciously thank them for the opportunity to be with the family and stay in their home. It's small, but the verbiage they used when defining the home, our relation to it, etc. drove home my feelings that the original kids are just baggage for this second family. It breaks my heart when I visit my mom and see how she is living. Remarried, but estranged from her second husband, she spends most of the time alone at home and has developed severe issues with anxiety. I feel the clock ticking, they and I are only getting older, and I just don't know how to resolve my feelings about this. He's not a bad person, and I have good memories with him, but it's just been getting rockier and rockier over the years. Anyway, venting over thoughts. Edit. Thanks for the advice everyone. I think it's just time to go LC and seek therapy. Therapy hadn't been something I considered up to this point, in no small part because my father would diminish the impact of the divorce or describe our family situation as really not that bad, normalized it. It's funny, the more type out in words all my different feelings, his actions, childhood experiences, the more I wonder why on earth I still even bothered. Interesting points I'm thankful for reading here. I shouldn't internalize the negative emotions my mother is experiencing. She has agency too and has made decisions that prevent her from moving on. Tie for the perspective. B. When children are involved, cheating on a spouse is cheating on the entire family. C. I need to lose the rose-colored glasses I view my father with, be more objective. D. Children deserve more than I thought. When you decide to have kids, you're making a decision to support someone for a very long time. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, your father had every opportunity to be a good dad to you and your siblings and support you, but he continually chooses not to. It isn't right, and it isn't fair, but it's never going to change. You can talk to your father all you want, He's not going to love you or support you or help you the way he does his second family. You say he's not a bad person, but honestly, from what little you've said, he sounds like a worthless piece of poop to me. My advice, cut off all contact with your father, his wife, and their children. Continuing to be around them is only making the resentment and grief worse. You can't change your father's choices. He's never going to be the dad you wished he was. At least by severing that connection, you can start to heal and move on and make your own life. Spend time with people who actually love and support you and care about your well-being and future. Redditor 2, this is why parents are never just cheating on their partner. They're cheating on the whole family. I'm sorry you had to deal with this. Redditor 3, this is a lot to unpack and all your feelings are valid. I highly recommend talking to a therapist who can help you with these feelings. Story 2, GF keeps accepting free drinks. I'm M20, she's F19 and we live in the UK, so we can go to clubs and drink at the age of 18. I've been in a relationship with this girl for a month now, and she came up to me whilst I was making us food in the kitchen and asked, is accepting free drinks considered cheating? And I just went quiet for a bit but returned to normality after half an hour-ish, and she later revealed that she would get drinks off men, and when they made a move she would tell them she had a boyfriend or she would run to the bathroom. However, my other friend who's 18F told me that when I was single I wouldn't have walked up to a random girl and offered her a drink unless she gave me any inclination that she was available, and it's really making me overthink. Would you guys be happy if her GF did this, and other girls, do you do this? I don't want to tell her she can't do it, as I don't want to come across as controlling after her ex was extremely bad for this, and also it's making me really overthink. And she usually gets really drunk and kissed a boy in a club while she was in a relationship with her ex. However, she said she only did it because he would emotionally abuse her, so I'd what to think about the whole situation. Redditor's reactions. Story 3 after. Redditor 1, it is not cheating, however it is dangerous. Redditor follow-up, the first ever drink a man tried to give me at a bar was roofied. That was 13 years ago. It was far from the last drink I was ever offered unpromoted, but it was the last one I personally accepted from a stranger. Redditor 2, you're still young and so is the friend you took your advice from. You'll soon learn that women don't have to do anything to be approached by men in any capacity. Emo, men that buy women drinks that they don't know are mostly predatory. A lot of the time, they're banking on her to get drunk enough that he'll have a chance to take her home. What's stopping someone like that from drugging her? I think the really important conversation to be having with your GF is that if someone has offered her a drink, you do not drink it unless you saw it being made and it was handed directly to you from a bartender or it's unopened. Redditor follow-up. I'll comment to direct ops attention back to this BC. This is exactly the answer he's needing to read right now. Redditor 3, people do offer women free drinks without them showing any sign of interest. She's not doing anything wrong by accepting them. Duck it, a free drink. The only thing I would be careful is keep a very close eye on the drink. In the UK, spiking has gotten so much more common in recent years. So make sure she gets the drink straight from the bar rather than he gets it and gives it to her. Redditor follow-up, they absolutely do. I've been offered drinks by dudes that I'm actively avoiding making eye contact with. I think they tell themselves she must not have seen me, I'm going to have to go up and talk to her. I am of the opinion that free poop is free poop. As long as the bartender gives you your drink directly, then go for it. Story 3, should I end my relationship with my cousin? So I 24M met my current girlfriend 24F on my first year of college, which I attend outside of my state. We met at a cafeteria and have so many mutual interests. She was the most amazing and kindest human being I have met in my whole life, does not take long for me to fall in love with her. After pursuing her for almost a year, she finally fell for me. Being with her is amazing, she felt like home and she feel the same. We have been dating for almost 3 years now, and since our whole meeting and friendship even before we go out was not that public, we chose to let it stay like that, though not secretive. My time with her is truly the most happiest day of my life. Fast forward, we both have finished our college and on summer vacation on both of our parents' house. She said she's visiting my home city for some family function. That was cool and normal. On the day of their family function, we also have some similar family gathering trip, still nothing unusual. So I was, at this cabin bartending for my uncles whom I have never met before. Then all of the sudden I saw her. My confusion and speechlessness was immense, same with her. We chose to not let anyone know about our relationship. Turns out we were second cousins. My paternal grandfather died very young, my grandmother does not remarried but they migrate states. My father grew up with his mother, so growing up he does not maintain contact with his paternal first cousins, he reconnect with them just a few years back. Things were very awkward between us now that we found out we are cousins. We have talked about it, and my GF conclude that she doesn't want to end our relationship, instead tell our parents about us. I really love her and do not want to end it either, but I am confused about it. Is it advisable to tell our parents about it or end our relationship? Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, based on what you're saying, I think you're second cousins, which makes you kinda distantly related. It's legal in all 50 states of the US. If you wanted to build a life together, you'd likely just want to have genetic testing done before having kids. Here's some info. A geneticist, can you marry cousin? Text equals in %20 the %20 United %20 states %2C %20 seconds. Half %20 of %20 the %20 American %20 states. Redditor follow-up, they shouldn't have much to worry about with genetics. There is very little shared genetics between second cousins. Especially if Therese no history of incest before. Redditor 2, you should be fine as you're barely related. I would talk to your doctor and get tested to be sure and go from there. There may be some issues with family, but they've hardly been any familiar relationship between them till recently, and your parents barely know each other. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Redditor 3, as far as genetics go, the variants you have should not have any impact on the health of any future potential children you may have, at least any more than any other relationship. Incest is instinctively disgusting because any potential offspring that are a product of such will likely have mutations or debilitating birth defects. This can be easily observed in pure-breed dogs, cats, other pets. You are roughly the same age and had no contact prior to this distant family reunion. You met as two strangers and neither of you knew about your albeit distant genetic relationship. Talk to your partner and see how they feel about it before doing anything rash. Redditor follow-up, I can't believe this is the only response that considers societal norms. Do what you think is best, but be prepared for any kind of backlash. There's a very good chance your relationship will be considered taboo to most, if not all, others.